And he puts it downfield and the hometown champion.
Daddy, chill.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Konnichiwa minasan. Genki desu. Merry Christmas.
I've been learning Japanese on Rosetta Stone for like 5 weeks now.
What if King Harald was killed by Stabs? And then Stab now going to try and take out Luffy. Stab him right through the chest. The same way.
Boy.
Even though I want Big Mom to return and be the final villainess of Elbaf. Easy, all woman, easy. I'm gonna cover you another video. Chill. Big Mom as a character needs, I would argue, to be finished in Elbaf appropriately. That doesn't mean that what Oda should do is what he's going to do. And sometimes what you need to do is the most hype thing to gain interest in what's going on right now with not only the arc itself, but also major players that are moving across the globe. And it seems like the Holy Knights are doing exactly that. They are on the move. We have Stabs and we have Atu. The inverse of Uta have arrived on Elbaf, and chaos is going to ensue. Oda says as much in his latest comments in Jump Festa. Now, to be fair, it's Oda's comments during a Jump Festa. Can they be trusted? Yes.
Hell no, man. Definitely concerns me a little bit, you know what I mean?
Here's what you have to keep in mind here. These people,
What do you mean, you people?
Stabs and Atu, they are coming in their cloak and dagger style. They're not coming out as if they were some sort of apex duo like Bonnie and Clyde, Vegeta and Nappa. They're coming down to just eradicate all the humans on this planet. They're coming in like Organization 13 from Kingdom Hearts. Hooded up, very sneaky. Atu is even copying Kakashi Hatake from Naruto. She's going nin the right way, not the Raizo way. So whatever their objectives are, they likely want to do this down low, cloak and dagger. And it's very clear that in terms of objectives, there are many objectives that we see on Elbaf that the Holy Knights would absolutely target. Number one, you have the Library of Gahul, guarded by Wang Shitong.
He who knows 10,000 things.
Then you have Nico Robin herself. She is the most sought after woman in the entire story for a host of different reasons.
Relax.
But then, of course, you have Loki, who has a special, for some reason, he has a special bounty on his head. And as far as we know, Loki isn't a pirate, but Loki is aware of Shanks in some way, but it's not clear exactly what ways those is. Is it the real Shanks or is it Stabs, who pretended to be Shanks? And before Shanks fought against Kid, quote unquote fought, we don't know the exact reason why Shanks was at Elbaf. It could have been just to chill with his homies and that was it. Fair enough. But maybe there was something specifically he really wanted to do there at Elbaf. Is Shanks aware of his own Figureland family heritage? Right now, we don't know. It's safe to assume that he does know, but we still don't know. But the idea is simple though. Even if Shanks doesn't know, eventually he will know. And that at some point in the future will probably put him at odds directly with the Holy Knights and his likely father Garling and his likely brother Stabs. Now, let's say what we see in the chapter is actually Shanks, and Shanks is genuinely a villain, a bad guy in the story. I have my doubts. The rat know me, the allegations.
You are not!
Have been cleared of Shanks at this point in time, and now let's focus on Stabs. Why is Stabs here? Does it involve Shanks prior and a potential meeting with him at some point before Kid arrived? We don't know. Probably not, but we don't know. 2, I've already listed off a lot of obvious objectives that Stabs and Atu could be targeting. But 3, then hold on, what are some not so obvious objectives that they could be targeting here?
Tell me.
And it's very possible that the answers that we seek are in heaven. Made in heaven. There's a chance here that some elders, let's say people like Ja Rule, Mountbeard, who is over 400 years old, may have access to the heaven realm and may know something that other giants in the area, let's say in the sun realm, do not know. Let's say their version of the hidden roots in Wano country that Tengu Yamhitetsu, aka Kozuki Sukiyaki, knew about to get to where? The road poneglyph that was in Wano country. Remember, there is another road poneglyph that we have not found. There is a theory, a game theory, to where it could be on a ship. This all black pearl ship is where the last road poneglyph is, that's being, like, let's say, defended by these maelstroms, these whirlpools. And it also involves potentially the man marked by flame. Possible. Or it could be the case here where that's some sort of false flag, because we actually don't know who was the one that distributed this information about the man marked by flames. Is it real? Is it fake? Right now, I feel like a New Jersey conspiracist. Are they actually stars in the night skies? Are they drones? We don't know. Ooh. It gets deep. Are the aliens already on the move? In One Piece, they already have been for centuries. Yeah, we can get neck deep in the One Piece conspiracy game. Absolute. And honestly, that's all theories are. Just conspiracy theories thrown to the wall in many respects. But the idea is this. If the last low poneglyph is on Elbaf, which in the Road to Laugh Tale, in those special chapters, Elbaf was one of the options for the last location of the road poneglyph. Maybe it's somewhere in the heaven realm, and Stabs and Atu are trying to get access to the last road poneglyph to do what? To try and head off what Vegapunk had created in the last arc, which is an overwhelming surge by not just pirates now, but also other major parties across the world, the Rev, Marines even, other, maybe bounty hunters. Oh my, bounty hunters, wow, rare.
And
are now going to be vying for the One Piece treasure. Now, who are in the forefront of claiming the One Piece treasure? The Emperors of the Sea. Oda tells you as much. However, if the last road poneglyph is taken by the Holy Knights, who found out that it was located on Elbaf somehow, some way, which I'll get to soon enough, but it could be the reason why ultimately Stabs and Atu are there. They are there to try and take the last road poneglyph and then teleport out, because now what this does in terms of the grand scheme of the story is that it forces the attention of the Strat crew, of other Emperor crews, other parties involved on the Holy Land and the Holy Knights, because in order for them to reach their goal, their dreams of being Pirate King, they have to get that last road poneglyph back. And the reason why Stabs and Atu, and probably Garling via them, because Garling is probably the one that's having them mobilize in this fashion, the reason why they know is because there's probably an op. Traitor! What's wrong with you, boy? Op on Elbaf that's working for them. Why is that likely the case here? Because we saw on Egghead Island that the first person that had to go on Egghead and create the summoning circle was who?
Who? That's right.
Shanks had to go there first and foremost from the ship. He teleported in, which for him, not a big deal because he was already in the vicinity. He was already there, just teleport in, not a big deal. And then once that happened, he had to create the summoning circle to then get the other elders to pull up. But remember, after the Joy Boy Hockey knot, what happened? The other people, the other elders, were forced back to the Holy Land, except for who?
After all that,
St. J. Garcia Saturn. Because Saturn was already a person that was there that established a summoning circle. He physically moved from the Holy Land to the areas near Egghead on Egghead. So if you follow that same thought process, there was probably someone already on Elbaf or in the areas around Elbaf that allowed for a summoning circle to be created, manifested in that area, and the Holy Knight spawned in. Now the question is, ultimately, from that standpoint, who was the op? Who was the one feeding the Holy Knights and the Holy Land intel on Elbaf.
The Last Supper. You kept calling it the Last Supper. Come on. You fucking knew, didn't you? You're the rat. Confess!
There could be a major turncoat moment, a major traitor in Elbaf that has to be revealed at some point in the near future. Does it involve a new giant pirate member? One being very, very obvious in Road. Does it involve Loki? Does it involve Shaggy, the person that he was talking to on the Nenemushi, where they are named now in the Viz chapter? Though I guess maybe you could still argue that it's just what he calls him as a nickname, not the actual name Shaggy. Like, it's not Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Like, zoink, Scoob, it's me. I'm on Elbaf and things are getting crazy, gosh.
Wait a second.
I don't know how Shaggy turned into Goofy, but it's not important.
Lies.
You see now how this turns into a situation where it forces the main cast of characters into the Holy Land. And you can argue that now that Stabs and company have moved, in some sense, this is them mobilizing. The same thing that Dragon said would lead to them initiating a all-out war against the Holy Land, which he was having to do because at the end of the last arc, now that word is spreading that the sea levels are going to rise so much and a lot of the world is going to be even more underwater than it already is. It's going to create wars and battles for higher territory. And it does sound similar to, let's say, the freshwater wars that a lot of folks are saying could be happening in the future, because in our world, freshwater is a resource that a lot of times is not properly displaced throughout many parts of the world. So we can understand this in a similar vein in our own world. But in the world of One Piece, you see how there are many players that could easily be involved with just one or two moves by Stabs and Atu. Even let's say the Giants themselves, where if Loki and Shaggy are talking about a situation that involves King Harald and Stabs, and they're kind of aware that something weird or scuffy was happening, how let's say it makes no sense that it was someone like Shanks that took out the king and so on and so forth. And when Loki said that he was going to kill them, he means the Holy Knights. Essentially, if Elbaf finds out that their king was killed by the world government,
Autobots, roll out. We roll.
then they would also want to mobilize against the Holy Land. But the second option, which is more of an obscure option considering what Vegapunk said in the last arc, but still possible. The second option, which also in a roundabout way involves the egg on Roger's ship.
Here we go again.
At the top of the Jewel Tree Atom could be something related to a bird. In Norse mythology, this bird, this eagle that has a hawk on top of it called Vidifenir, well, which is, why is there a hawk on top of an eagle? It's crazy. And the eagle is not named in Norse myth. It's just called eagle, which infuriates me.
Damn right.
And maybe Oda too, because Oda's a big Norse fan. And if there is a giant eagle with a Bandit Keith bandana on its skull on top of the Jewel Tree Atom, maybe this is something more akin to an ancient weapon. And ancient weapons always change the game. Now, of course, very likely that Stabs and Atu couldn't steal the ancient weapon itself, particularly if it's a giant mythical beast of some kind on top of the tree.
Just think for a second.
No.
However, if it has eggs, for example, these eggs could be a means of utilizing the power of this ancient weapon in some capacity.
Now you got my attention.
So who's to say that, okay, if Shirahoshi is living and if Pluton is living, why can't Uranus be living? And the actual Uranus is somewhere on Elbaf on top of the Jewel Tree Atom. There are two more quote-unquote options where you have Loki's power specifically being a target. Let's say they tried to attack Harald because they wanted the fruit power specifically. But as far as we know, no one in the world government can do what Blackbeard does. So if they want Loki's power, then that makes Loki a target. So it kind of ties to what I said before. That's the first thing. And the second thing, the last option, the last target could be Monkey D. Luffy himself, but that's very unlikely because he's an Emperor of the Sea. It's the same reason why most Marines didn't attack Blackbeard during Amazon Lily. Fighting Emperors tends to mean all-out war, so it's never a good thing to attack them in general. This could be another reason to have a total war, because now you have the Holy Land making moves that not only took something precious from Elbaf, which is a territory that obviously Luffy and company respect and love, but also so do Shanks. And if something was stolen from Elbaf that was precious, whether it be ancient weapon or a broad poneglyph, what would Luffy and Shanks do for their friends?
Kick names, take ass.
Yeah, that's right.
But there is one other thing I need to say too. The reason why Stabs might know about this stuff may not pertain to the op that's on Elbaf. It could be something that the Figureland family already knew. And I have to question too, in many respects, why did Emu choose Figureland Garling specifically to take over the role of St. J. Garcia Saturn? There's obvious reasons, but there's not so obvious reasons, arguably. Even when you go back to Film Red, there is a specific note of how if Uta is a member of the Figureland family, even though we know what she's doing is not so good for even for us, do we still strike? There are things that are very important about this family that I will get to in another video, because their ambitions could be even greater than what people first think. But again, another video, another day, maybe in 2024, potentially 2025. We'll see when I drop it. So on that note, lads and ladies, be sure to, of course, rate the video, comment, subscribe. Once again, happy holidays. I'm gonna catch you guys and gals on the flip side.
See you. Bye-bye.